actually build this memorial. So again, I know there's a lot of friction between there, but I don't know a lot of the details as to exactly why.
Okay. And, just to add a little bit more history to add on to that, Japan and Korea have been fighting over these islets called Dokdo Island. And, it is Korea's territory, but Japan keeps on proclaiming that it's theirs, putting it into historical textbooks where children are learning about history and saying that it's their property. And I was just wondering, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that we seem to think that land is no longer the big battle, and nowadays it's all a battle of resources. But when you look at the Palestine-Israel conflict, when you look at the Pakistan-India conflict, you see that these territories will still be going on, battling over territorial disagreements. So, I mean, it's quite relevant, and it's difficult for one side to finally make a compromise, but we're hoping that all these battles can be made into compromises.
And, Korea and Japan, we've been rivals historically, economically. I mean, you name it. We've probably been through that. I was just wondering, in your country, Canada, are there any rivals with your country?
Yeah, you asked the perfect person because I live in Montreal, and so in Montreal there's this huge sovereignty party that wants Montreal to be separate from, specifically Quebec, to be separate from the rest of Canada, and the reason for that is language battles, because we are a majority French-speaking population, and so they want to separate. So since 1867 it's going back and forth. We've had many referendums where they've tried to separate, they've failed, but it's a constant struggle, so very relevant to where I'm from.
Okay, but your English is great. Okay, what's your opinion of Japan and their people, and your opinion on Korea and us?
Yeah, I love both. So I'm in Korea right now, so I'll try to give a look. The truth is, I love both. I've spent quite a bit of time in Japan. I've spent a bit of time in Korea. They're both wonderful. The people are wonderful. They're helpful. Sometimes they don't know the English, but they still go above and beyond to try to help out. And I think it just is part of the culture here. So there's a reason I'm here. It's because you guys are just amazing. So thanks for having me.
Okay, well, I'm going to accept that compliment. And, some Koreans want the Japanese to apologize. But of what they did, in World War II and everything. Yeah. But still, Japan hasn't exactly apologized, and I was just wondering what your opinion is about that.
Yeah, reconciliation is difficult. I mean, South Africa had its whole reconciliatory program. Russia had to give all of its apologies to Poland. Yeah. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I mean, even though all these apologies get made, sometimes the struggles still persist. Apologies are symbolic, so I think the Koreans will have to feel that this is a sincere apology and not just a political kind of propaganda a la, yes, we're sorry, so we can move on for economy and politics. So I think an apology, if it's genuine, can make a huge difference.
All right, well, we just had a great conversation with Zachary, and we talked about the relationship between Korea and Japan, and he seemed to know a lot about it and some history with his country over in Canada. Well, I hope you guys learned a lot there. Conversation had a great time with Zachary and me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back to the studio. Bye!
네, 자 캐나다에서 오신 분이었었는데요. He does know a lot about his history, I think.
Yes.
일단은 히로시마에 가보신 적 있다라고 얘기하셨죠? What did he say about that city?
맞아. He did say that he spent some time in Japan. 일본에서 어느 정도 생활을 했던 적이 있는 것 같은데요. Zachary 같은 경우에 일단 질문을 했을 때 friction, 즉 마찰이 갈등에 대해서 이야기를 한 다음에 히로시마 얘기가 나왔고요. memorial까지 이야기를 했는데요. 그러니까 한국 사람들을 위한 a memorial for Koreans. 히로시마에 한국 사람들을 위한 그런 추모관이 있다라고 이야기를 했습니다. But he also did mention that it took a while for them to actually put up this memorial. 그렇죠? 시간이 어느 정도 좀 걸렸다라고 하면서 일본인들이 좀 반대하는 사람들도 있었기 때문에 좀 오래 걸렸다라는 이야기까지.
그러니까 양국의 어떤 역사의 friction이란 건 마찰이라는 뜻이거든요. 그러니까 양국 역사를 자세히 알진 못하지만 양국 어떤 역사에 그런 마찰이나 갈등 요소가 있었다는 것을 알고 이 이야기를 언급을 한 것 같습니다. 자, 그 밖에도 이제 독도 이야기를 이제 언급을 했더니만, 이런 영토상의 이견, 이와 같은 것은 팔레스타인이나 이스라엘, 중동 지역이라든가, 캐나다에서도 퀘벡 주 같은 경우 이제 불어를 사용하고 불어 문화권이기 때문에 독립을 1867년부터 계속 해오려고자 하는 독립 분리운동 같은 것을 하고자 하는 그런 것들 때문에 여기저기 다 볼 수 있다라는 식으로 우회적으로 이제 설명을 했었죠. 즉 독도 문제에 대해서는 뭐 정확하게 어떤 자신의 어떤 의견이나 그 사안을 뭐 자세히는 모르고 계신 것 같습니다. 그래서 이제 캐나다 예를 좀 들어주신 것 같고요. 한국과 일본을 모두 이제 살아보니까 뭐 국민들은 뭐 한국 국민들이나 일본 국민이 상당히 친절하고 너무너무 환대를 잘해주기 때문에 두 국민 모두 양 국가 모두 이렇게 좋아하시는 분인 것 같습니다. 자, 어쨌든 뭐 두 국가 간의 여러 가지 과거사 문제에 있어서 뭐 reconciliation이라 해서 이렇게 화해라는 것이 어느 하루아침에 이루어지진 않는다라는 얘기도 했었고요. 러시아가 폴란드의 이제 과거사에 대해서 사과를 했듯이 이런 사과라는 것이 상당히 상징적이고 진정성이 좀 담겨야 된다라는 얘기를 하고 있죠. 진정성이 담긴다면 뭐 경제 문제나 국제화 문제 기밖에 다른 가지 현안들을 발전적으로 논의할 수 있으나 그런 진정성이 있는 이제 사과가 없다면 이런 갈등이나 마찰에서 지속될 수 있다는 언급을 하시긴 하셨습니다.
Yes, because he did mention something about, apologizing genuinely. If they do apologize genuinely, then perhaps there will be a huge difference.
그렇죠. 진정성이 담긴 사과이죠. 자, 마지막으로 그럼 한국과 일본 관련돼서 한일전 스포츠 경기가 또 아주 또 열띤 양상을 띠잖아요. 그런 이야기를 영어로 어떻게 할 수 있는지 마지막으로 문장으로 만나보겠습니다. 자, 이 문장입니다. Sports matches between Korea and Japan get very heated up. 자, heated up만 알아주시면 될 것 같아요. 열기가 후끈 달아오른다. 이런 뜻이 되겠습니다. 같이 한번 해보시죠.
Sports matches between Korea and Japan get very heated up. Let's do it one more time. Sports matches between Korea and Japan get very heated up.
Alright everyone, that is it for today. Thank you for joining us once again. 저희 생활영어는요, 홈페이지에 오시면 다시 보기로 전회 방송을 다 무료로 시청하실 수 있으니까요. 많은 이용 부탁드리겠습니다.
Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
I got joy, joy, joy.